I just want to say, this is my beautiful wife, Amanda. She is beautiful and skinny, and she loved a fat guy like me, and she's so encouraging and supportive to help me lose weight. So I just thank you. She's always good. She cooks me healthy meals. She motivates me to run. She's always like, run faster, fatty. All right, day 2. I'm on my lunch break, and I'm with my smoking hot wife, Miss Amanda Bear. We are walking the park in the crispy leaves. Because it's fall here in Pennsylvania. I don't know where you guys are at, but the leaves start to change pretty colors and they die. So we're gonna walk the park. My knees are already killing me from just walking, because that's hashtag fat man problems. And we're gonna walk. I might try to jog, we'll see, because as Shay Carl says, if you're not pushing yourself, you're not losing weight. Or he says something like that. So we're walking, getting in shape, look at the beautiful trees. I'm jogging like I've never jogged before. My knees are killing me, I'm falling to the floor. It's a beautiful day. What I love is the leaves are changing just like our bodies are changing, because we're getting in shape. Some cross-country runners ran by. I think they need my help. You know what I mean. Don't get hit by the car. My arm's tired from holding it. I lost Amanda. Where'd she go? There she is. Yeah. Okay, I'm out of shape. My legs are stiff like a tin man. I'm like doing the robot because my joints all hurt. Because I'm a large man. You all know that. That's why you're watching the video. We are finishing up our 2-mile walk/jog. I walked more than jogged. But I don't know if you could tell, I'm soaked. And breathing heavy. Here's the little boobage. But I do have asthma too, and I don't have my inhaler. So I haven't had an inhaler probably for 6 years. So I gotta go get that, because this physical activity, man, is like killing me. We ran a 5K on Thanksgiving, and literally I crossed the finish line like at 37 minutes, which isn't good to those runners out there.
He did better than I did.
I did better than her. But I crossed the finish line, and I lost color in my vision. I just saw black and white, and then I just fell on the ground for about 10-15 minutes. Strangers were running up giving me apples and water, which is really nice. But I just wanted a burrito. That's all I wanted. Anyways.
And you didn't know what was wrong with you. And then later we were talking and we're like, I don't know how we came up with it, but you realized that you have asthma.
Yeah, I forgot completely. Oh yeah, I have asthma, because I haven't been so physically active in so long that I forgot I have asthma. So we're gonna get that so I could run more. But my legs are hurting so bad.
You have to stretch.
You gotta stretch. I hate stretching. But we're gonna stretch, ice, elevate. What do they say? Rice.
Rest, ice, compress, elevate.
Rest, ice, compress, elevate. Rest, ice, compress, elevate. Rest, ice, compress, elevate. That's how you do rise.
Blue spring shines.